Hi, my name is Carlo Bongio. I'm a fly fishing department manager for Western Sport Shop in Santa Rosa. I'm also a licensed guide, fly casting instructor, as well as a fly tyer. And as fly tyers, what we do is try to imitate nature by creating artificial flies that look and behave like the fish's natural food. Artificial flies can be made of natural materials such as animal fur and hair. They are also made of synthetic man-made materials like rubber or tinsels, and we can also combine them to create a fly as well. There are thousands of different kinds of fly patterns. They can imitate very tiny aquatic insects as well as very large fish imitating flies used for large saltwater fish. There are different types of flies, like flies that are meant to be fished on the surface of the waters. These are commonly called dry flies. We also have another group of flies called wet flies or nymphs, and they are commonly used underneath the surface of the water. There are also other groups that we try to imitate by creating land-based insects or terrestrial insects such as ants and grasshoppers and beetles. There are many different types of small animals that flies can imitate, and they can catch virtually any type of sport fish in the world. What I'm tying today is called a silver Hilton, and this is a steelhead fly that we commonly use in Northern California on the Klamath River. This fly incorporates the use of hackle, which is basically a chicken feather. Also, the body is made out of chenille, has a chenille body, and there's a silver tinsel that ribs the body, and then we have, again, hackle for the tail. This fly represents a small minnow, commonly referred to as a streamer. Streamers that imitate small minnows are used quite commonly for steelhead in Northern California. Generally, there are two types or styles of artificial flies. One type is called impressionistic, and the other type or style is called realistic. Realistic flies generally mimic the natural food of the insect that you're trying to represent, and they are typically more buggy looking than realistic fly patterns. Realistic fly patterns look more like the insect does in nature. There's another group of flies called attractor patterns. These patterns do not generally imitate any type of insect or fish found in nature, but during periods when the fish are not being very selective, they work quite well. When the fish are being really selective, this is referred to as selectivity, and they will only take a certain fly. The fly fisher's job is to choose the correct fly that the trout are feeding on. This is commonly referred to as matching the hatch. All artificial flies are tied by hand. There are no machines that can duplicate the movement of the human hand. It's very rewarding when you're out actually using your own fly that you created. And that's one big part about fly tying that most fly tyers really enjoy, the fact that you can create these artificial flies and fish them and be successful. It's a very, very rewarding experience.